Cool, so here's where we're at so far. I'm going to slow it down for you so that we got our intro. There's the fourth time. Here's 5, 6. And that brings us to our new part here, which is the second half of the verse part. So coming out of this, then he goes back down to this shape. Now I was using my pinky here because it was already on this string, so you could probably switch your fingering if you want. But whatever you need to do to get to this chord. It's just the second fret of the third string, third fret of the second string. So in context, so we got so that looks like this here. Whoop. Oh, there it is. So that looks like this here. Okay, so that looks like this. So we got using my third finger and my thumb, and then rolling back, second finger to the second string. Then we got the bass note. And then right after that next bass note, we got our first finger and get that third string. And then that's how he finishes that verse section. So we come up here and the shape is first finger, 5th fret, 1st string, third finger, 7th fret, 2nd string, second finger, 7th fret, 3rd string. And then sometimes I throw a little dealy-doo in there. You don't necessarily have to do that. One thing I noticed is I went through and watched, you know, there's some great classic performances of him playing this song, and you can see the way that he sort of modifies it and changes the riff and kind of just has fun sort of improvising around it. So I think like getting comfortable with these shapes, there's really a lot of cool things you can do, and he sort of takes it there live a lot. I don't know if he just was like, after you play it so many times, you just got to change it up. So we're over here. So again, with our alternating bass, just like the whole song. Starting again with the thumb and third finger. And we're going to roll it down. Middle finger, 2nd string, and then roll down to the bass note. Slow. Then back here. When you get comfortable with the patterns and the shapes, play with the little dynamics on the melody and the bass notes too. Okay, cool. So that's our verse. So then there's two more sections in the song. One, I don't know really what you'd consider to be a chorus or a bridge or what. It's just sort of a kind of a beautiful linear sort of flow that the whole song has. So the two other sections, the next one starts with this great change, which you're coming out of here. So it's the same shape. Move it down a full step, so you got 3rd fret, 1st string, and 5th fret on the 2nd and 3rd strings. And we're not going to move anything or lift anything off. We're just going to play that same pattern. I'm using a lot of 3rd finger and 2nd finger, not as much 1st finger and thumb. So the 1st finger is not doing anything on this, for me at least. And I find it to be a good way to do it on this song because you have a wide sort of stretch with your right hand. Like your thumb's clear over here a lot, and if you start using your 1st and 2nd finger too much over here, you're going to run out of, because you're going to want to play that 3rd string in a lot of situations. So try to get used to using this 3rd finger and 2nd finger and getting comfortable with them, because they're really useful. Then we're going to go. Okay, so this next chord, our bass notes are going to go, and it's a little weird, and I'll show you why. It's because when you come down here, you're going to go, okay, so really quickly in context, we're coming from this chord. The pull-off happens when you play this low bass note. So the note that you're pulling off to happens in time with this low thumb. Sometimes you can kind of ghost it. So we're going. That last little bit is 1st finger, and then we're kind of pinched in here a little bit, and then we got the thumb's going to play that higher bass note, the D. Oops. Then we're going straight into which is just a D shape, and when he goes up and hits this with this tuning, basically becomes a sus2. So we got it's hard to do slow. I'm playing some kind of stuff in between. So the pattern is kind of in here if we were to take that out of context. Okay, so here's that whole part. You could kind of go back to the intro here, because now we're sort of going back into another verse. Okay, so now that takes us to our next part here, which is just 2 chords. This is the minor section of the song here. And sometimes live he'll hit this note too. Whoops. Okay, so it's really just a pattern and 2 shapes. So our shape is, first one's right here, 2nd finger, 7th fret, 3rd string. 1st finger, 6th fret, 2nd string. 3rd finger, 7th fret, 1st string. So we got this pattern again. So we're going thumb, 3rd finger. Roll it back. 2nd finger, 2nd string, and then thumb hits the high bass. Whoop. And then that's pretty much the pattern. So we got, so the second half. 1st, 6, 2nd, 4. And then we have this shape, which it's like a major chord, basically. We have our 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, 2nd finger, 6th fret, 3rd string, and then 1st finger right there on the 5th fret. And then open A, and our bass note's going 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. So you can play that open E. Same pattern again as this. So you got this. And those are all the parts to the song. So it really just repeats those in the arrangement. And you have an intro. You have like what would be a verse, and then I don't know if you call that a chorus, into like back into a verse, and then you're gonna have this bridge. But when you listen to it, you can't always hear necessarily what the guitar is doing. There's a lot of other acoustic instrumentation going on and stuff like that. But if you cross-reference this a lot with like live recordings, especially like Earl's Court, things like that, you can really see what he's doing, and then how he branches out even from these shapes and makes more interesting and fun things with this. So it's that cool thing with fingerstyle guitar that I love, that I don't, you know, there's a pattern and some shapes, and once you get comfortable with that stuff, you can really kind of play around with the song and sort of add things just like he does. But that's the gist of it, and the feel, and you know, consider dynamics as you go, as you get more comfortable with these patterns. And that's pretty much it. It's a cool tune and doesn't require a whole lot of you know, changing your tuning or anything like that. And yeah, so that's it.